Oh, what a delightful coincidence. On February 5th, 2024, our dear old Chris Matthews over at MSNBC had the pleasure of hosting ex-President Donald Trump for what was sure to be just another riveting political chit-chat full of Trump's seriousness, which often looks something like this.
This is a tough business to run for
I know
president.
you're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a
But lo and behold, fueled by a divine concoction of reality and Trump's misdemeanor, Matthews decided to grace us with the revelation that Trump's intellect rivals that of a flickering light bulb. Yeah, you got that right. Matthews called him stupid, to say the least.
Who is he? He's an asshole, sir.
Naturally, quicker than you can utter alternative facts, the internet exploded with joy, spreading the news faster than a hyperactive squirrel on a caffeine high. Truly, a momentous occasion in the annals of political discourse. But this isn't new for all of us. From his stint as a real estate bigwig to his gig as the 45th President of the United States, Trump's TV moments have been a wild ride of controversy, spectacle, and more eyeballs than a one-eyed cat in a fish market. He has been misbehaving with journalists and media spokespersons for far too long. This was not the only time when he was called out for his false claims, and he snapped in return. Remember the time when Trump called a CNN reporter a nasty person on live television?
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Isn't that another example of absolutely nothing but a blatant power show-off? If we dig a little deeper into Trump's encounters with Chris Matthews, we realize that this whole asshole incident was not the first heated debate between these two. Matthews has been a keen critic of Trump's unacceptable political yet unethical moves for a long time. Earlier this year in an interview, while discussing former President Donald Trump's grandiose assertion of immunity from prosecution during his court hearings regarding his attempts to overturn the 2020 election, Chris Matthews hilariously remarked that Trump and his legal team look like idiots in the courtroom.
I'm an idiot!
You're an idiot.
Whoa, go, I got.
Talking about the MSNBC show where somebody was called an asshole, if you know what I mean.
Bought a spaceship, now I'm a space cadet.
Matthews started the show by grilling Trump about his ongoing saga of claiming victory in the 2020 election, to which Trump predictably responded with his greatest hit, "I won, they cheated." Okay, since that comment of Trump's is asking for it, let's take a stroll through the wonderlands of Trump's presidency and see how correct these claims of the former president are, shall we? According to the experts, Trump's little hobby of undermining the 2020 election takes the cake for the most delightful abuse of power. Michael Paulson, a conservative legal scholar and professor at the University of St. Thomas in Minnesota, called it a form of a political coup d'etat against the Constitution. During the 2020 circus, Trump treated us all to a daily dose of fiction with his charming tales about the voting process. He even floated the idea of postponing the election just for kicks, earning himself a round of applause from both sides. The real drama came after Trump's loss, when he graciously claimed victory and kindly suggested that maybe, just maybe, a few million votes could magically disappear. Who could forget his delightful chat with Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, where he politely asked him to conjure up enough votes to make his dreams come true? This is probably how Trump is gonna make America great again. Good luck, Trump.
We will make America great again.
So when Trump started blabbering again about cheating in the 2020 elections, Matthews, the ever-gracious host, kindly reminded Trump about the non-existent correctness of his claims. But Trump, bless his heart, couldn't resist the urge to stir the pot, accusing Matthews and his cronies of being in bed with the radical left and painting a picture of the world under President Biden as bleak as a Monday morning after a long weekend. By this juncture, Matthews Matthews had absolutely had his fill. He started serving up a piping hot dish of truth to Trump and then some, leaving him looking as flustered as a turkey on Thanksgiving. Interestingly, this was not the only time when Chris Matthews called Trump out. There have been several occasions where he has expressed a disliking towards Trump's overall freedom of expression. As we all know, Donald Trump has bulldozed through the boundaries of presidential power like a bull in a china shop. He's carefully crafted a legacy of shenanigans, ranging from eyebrow-raising breaches of tradition to acts that could have made a soap opera blush. And my friends, Matthews has been keeping a keen eye on him since the beginning. In 2016, Chris interviewed Trump on Hardball when the question of abortion rights came up. As a shining beacon of Republican ideals as the presidential candidate, Trump proudly embraced the label without bothering to understand what it actually meant. While most of his GOP pals were busy dreaming up creative punishments for the medical folks involved in abortions, Trump decided to take a different approach. He mused about slapping some sort of punishment on the poor women involved because, that's just how things work in Trump's world. In another interview given to MSNBC in January 2024, Matthews said, "I hope that people who are voting for Trump in these primaries enjoy the tyranny that he may be bringing to this country." It seems like Matthews was right, because the kinds of things Trump said during his election campaign actually kind of make him a tyrant. His disparaging remarks towards immigrants, dehumanizing them as not people, and equating them to poison for the nation reflected a disturbing disregard for inclusivity and diversity, which is fundamental to the Republicans' beliefs. His ominous threat of potential violence, implying a bloodbath if he fails to secure victory, undermining the principles of peaceful democratic transition, and highlighted a concerning lack of respect for the rule of law. Additionally, Trump's apparent indifference towards the criminal charges against him suggests a troubling absence of accountability, raising questions about the integrity of leadership within the republic.
If it didn't do something, how can you not care?
Like this.
In another interview, when Matthews was supposed to discuss the first day of Trump's New York fraud trial, along with Trump's remarks about Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her husband, he said Trump trusts nobody, and he isn't to be trusted. When Trump compared himself to Jesus in the 2024 election campaign,
David Urban, who was running his campaign last time, they know where to advance him. They're going to go out there and advance him to the right places. And I tell you, it's fascinating. I don't know if the Democrats have really thought through this campaign and what they're up against. This guy's calling himself God.
Matthews did not hesitate to call him out and say it's pure blasphemy. So, from Chris Matthews' constant roast sessions on Donald Trump's antics with women, immigrants, and politics, it's crystal clear that being a political dunce is totally achievable, but definitely not inconspicuous. So, as for deciding if the jerk is really a jerk, well, that's entirely up to you in your discerning judgment. For more inside news and analysis from the world of politics, please like and subscribe this channel.